Hello. Volumenya kecil kah? BGM-nya kah? Can I made it louder? Meng. Eyo. Sorry. Tadi suara BGM-nya kekecilan kah waiting room-nya? Tadi sempat karena Mika sempat nge-record sesuatu. Mika post besok deh tapi. Halo, suara Mika nggak apa-apa nggak sekarang? Mika baru bangun. Mika baru bangun kayak 20 menit yang lalu. Oh my god, I just woke up. Hello everyone. Oha, not Oha, it's not even morning, but gimana hari kalian? How's your day? I hope you're doing alright. Mika berharap kalian baik-baik saja. I just woke up. Mika baru bangun. Oke. Mika kangen yang lain. Hashtag yang lain. Gimana? Gimana? Mika udah lihat tau. Mika udah lihat hashtag yang yabai. I see your hashtag work. The yabai hashtag. I've seen it. Nggak imut baru bangun emang. Hihi. Ngantuk tau lately. Story apa? Sebenarnya Mika tuh pengen ceritain gitu ya. Kayak cerita-cerita pas Mika masih hidup. Tapi Mika nggak tahu kalau ini serem nggak ya. Tapi Mika ada cerita serem. Kalau kalian mau, kalau kalian berani. Baru bangun langsung cerita horor. So sleepy. Did you guys sleep? Oh, I already checked it? Yeah, I've checked it. I've seen your work. I've seen the work. I mean, I want to like it. I want to retweet it. But I'm say so. But I like it. I like it. I do. Gas cerita horor. Aduh, langsung cerita horor. But how's your day, everyone? Also, Mika mau minta maaf terakhir kali itu pas nge-collab Mika lupa ngebaca donation. I feel really bad. I'm sorry for forgetting to read the donation during the collab. It was because I pulled a 2 stream back to back and my brain just went Zzz. I'm officially not Seisho? True. I mean I try to be Seisho. I'm trying my best. Also, look at this chat. I made the background move. Kayak Mika membuat backgroundnya gerak. Jadi trippy, you know, trippy. Kalian udah lihat belum schedule Mika? Oh ya, Mika mau minta maaf. Sebelumnya mau minta maaf karena schedule-nya nggak sepadat schedule yang lain. Tapi Mika janji pas sudah oke, Mika bakal balik lagi. Karena Mika lately kayak ngantuk gitu ya. Bukan ngantuk apa ya, emang dead. I wanna say sorry because the schedule for next week is not gonna be as what's the name? Filled as I liked it to be, but that's because I'm not feeling the best. And I don't wanna like make you guys come here and watch me do like subpar. So I'ma take some breaks. I'm so sorry, but next time I will energy. 20.8 gas 30. Mika mulai kecanduan Apex, that's true. Gak sadar backgroundnya gerak. Ya, tadi kalau Mika coba kayak gerak banget gitu ya. Nanti mual gitu loh. Kayak lihatnya tuh mual gitu. I stretching. Okay, sleepy ghost or sick? There's no such thing as a sick ghost. Okay, tau gak sih Kak? Kan Mika pernah kasain kan. Kalau misalnya Mika inget gitu hal-hal yang terjadi di masa lalu, kalian mau tahu nggak gitu? Dan kalian bilang oke, jadi why not? So I've asked you guys like, do you guys wanna hear like stories of when I was alive? And you guys said yeah. So I'm like, alright, I'll remember it. Thank you, Oja. Hello, Mika. I miss your smile. There's 7 billion smiles on the earth, but yours is my favorite little flower. Oja! Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. Lore? Gini. Mika belum ingat sekali. But tau gak sih, chat? I'll be telling the story in both English and Indo. I'll do my best. Mika bakal coba cerita di bahasa Indo dan Inggris ya. Mika akan berusaha. Hui. Mika suka nonton anime? Of course I love watching anime. Are you crazy? Tapi nih, dulu ya. I don't know if this is scary. I don't know, but dulu pas Mika hidup. Apa ya? Grandpa. What is grandpa? Opa Mika. Opa. Om. Grandpa lah ya. Ayahnya ayahku, seperti itu. Dia tuh dulu dukun. Can I say this? I don't care anymore. Oh, my time thingy? Oh yeah. Oh, Niji Sanji. It's always Niji Sanji time. What do you mean? I should fix that. Let me fix that. But I don't wanna fix it. I'm lazy. It's always Niji Sanji time. What do you mean? It is always the time of Niji Sanji. Heck yeah. Mata. Ya, tapi Mika tuh dulu sempet apa ya? What is grandpa actually? If it's scary, I'll laugh. Tapi ini, jadi tuh ayahnya ayah Mika seperti itu ya. Dia there, Niji Sanji time gone. No more Niji Sanji. Kakek, bener kakek. Omnya om. Ya, kakeknya Mika itu tuh dukun gitu. Jadi Mika ada banyak cerita goib karena itu. Kalian mau denger kah? Takutnya terlalu ini karena ini Mika tuh dulu datang dari keluarga di mana dua pihak orang tua Mika itu dukun. Jadi orang tuanya orang tua Mika itu tuh dukun gitu. So both my grandparents from my mother and dad, my mom and dad side are like they practice black magic. I wish I'm kidding. This is actually a true story. Terima kasih Indonesia. Hai Mika, istri kedua saya, semangat streamingnya, I love you too. Waduh, aku istri kedua. Aku istri kedua. Chat. Dukun dan Duchan. Tapi ya, kalau kalian mau dengar, Mika ada banyak tuh cerita-cerita istilahnya goib dari masa-masa itu. Karena Mika tuh dulu juga sempat melihat hal-hal yang gimana ya? Mika nggak tahu kalau misalnya ini bisa dijelasin ya. Tapi at that time, karena emang Mika percaya lah. Namanya juga Mika tuh hantu ya. Mika percaya lah. Tapi at that time kan Mika belum menjadi hantu. Jadi Mika tuh masih kayak, apa ini, percaya nggak gitu kan? Siapa tahu cuma tikus gitu. It's okay Mika, you number one my heart. Thank you. Tapi ya, jadi gini. Let's mulai dari cerita yang paling serem yang Mika pernah ngalamin gitu ya. Tapi background songnya nggak fit banget ya. Yaudah Mika diemin. Wah, makin seram. Ya udah, hari ini Mika bakal ceritain ya. Jadi dulu tuh Mika pas sekitar umur 12, 13, sekitar itu. Mika tuh sempet tinggal di rumahnya kakek Mika. Nah, jadi sempet nginep di sana buat berapa bulan gitu. Jadi buat sekalian membantu gitu, ngebantu ya kayak task chores apa sih, kayak membantu-bantu karena namanya juga tua ya, wes tua, jadi udah tua. Jadi Mika disuruh bantu gitu. Nah jadi Mika tuh tinggal di ruangan semacam kayak tempat nge-storage gitu, ngesimpen barang. Tapi karena ada Mika, mereka jadi ganti gitu. Jadi Mika tidurnya tuh di tikar. Thank you for donation Pocong Gaming. Cuman mau bilang I love you tuh semua. Ya, tapi jadi ini semacam gudang. Semacam, tapi mereka tuh karena kan omanya Mika itu baik-baik saja. Dia tuh kayak neutral party NPC. Tapi kakek Mika tuh ngepraktis ya black magic. Magic item. Nah, jadi tuh gini, Mika tuh tinggalnya di tikar, tidurnya di tikar di dalam storage room. Jadi yeah, so when I was younger, around at 12, I lived at my grandparents' house to help out for a couple of months, and I lived at like a storage room. I slept in the storage room, and I slept in like a, oh, thank you for the donation. Terima kasih. Hagrid, you're a wizard, Mika. I'm a wizard? Tapi yeah, I slept at like, it's like a futon bed. It's like a futon. I don't think it's even a futon. It's basically like it's just a bed without the bed stand. It's just like the comfy part on the floor. But that's where I slept for a couple of months. Yeah. So Mika tuh di sana tuh membantu, dan di rumahnya Opa Mika tuh kan gak gede-gede banget. Tapi mereka tuh ada semacam lorong gitu ya. Lorong dimana ujungnya itu tempat Opa Mika tuh bekerja, tanda kutip bekerja. Nah, di lorong itu tuh ada banyak hal-hal yang kayak apa ya, kayak kayu dan tombok gitu. Apa sih namanya? Like bambu runcing. Get my bambu runcing. Tapi kayak hal-hal seperti ini tuh di ini diperban sama kain kafan, I guess. Mika juga nggak tahu itu kain apa, tapi kainnya warnanya putih kekuningan gitu. So in the house there was like it wasn't that big, it was pretty small actually, but there was one room, there's an alley, and there's a room in the end where my grandpa like quote unquote worked, and in the alleyway there's like spears and ornaments that are like covered in, I think it's muslin, I'm not sure, but it's like those kind of fabrics that are white-ish, yellowish, and they're covered like band-aids in it, right? Ya, dan gini nih, Opa Mika sering kasih tauin gini, kamu tuh yang penting nggak apa-apa gitu ya. Kalau misalnya kan Mika tuh sering kasih teh jahe ke Opa, kadang kasih makanan atau kasih tauin kayak apa makannya udah selesai gitu-gitu. Jadi harus ke sana gitu. Nah, Mika tuh nggak boleh masuk ke ruangannya. Jadi nggak tahu deh itu kotor kali, tapi Mika nggak boleh, dan nggak boleh pegang ornamennya, nggak boleh dipegang. So I'm not allowed to touch the ornaments, and I'm not allowed to enter the room, but I'm allowed to walk there and knock to tell him what time it is, etc. Nah, actually, Mika dulu tuh pas kecil sering ada hal-hal yang lebih mistis. Seolah-olah tuh Mika dulu tuh misalnya ya, Mika pernah nginep di hotel bareng keluarga besar karena ada acara. Nginep di hotel, setiap keluarga beda ruangan lah ya tentunya. Dan Mika tuh masih baby, Mika masih babui, masih anak kecil, masih kayak umurnya 2 tahun gitu. Nah, Mika ditaruh di dalam ruangan bareng ibu Mika. Nah, ayah Mika sama keluarga besarnya lagi di luar gitu. Jadi cuman aku, ibunya Mika, dan ada sepupunya Mika satu lagi yang umurnya udah 12 atau 13. Udah lupa, pokoknya udah lebih tua. Nah, terus tiba-tiba ibuku tuh lagi di luar. Ini cerita dari ibuku ya. Mika lagi di ranjang, tiba-tiba tuh Mika duduk di depan cermin, terus mulai sisir rambut Mika. Jadi Mika tuh sisir rambut sendiri gitu. At that time rambut Mika tuh pendek banget kayak Dora gitu. So here's a context actually. When I was still a baby, I went to like a vacation with my big family, and I stayed at a hotel. And then at that time in the room, I was alone with my mom and my older cousin, and at that time my mom told me this. I sat in front of the mirror and I started brushing my hair, but my hair was short at that time, like very short. Mika tuh sisir rambut, awal-awal tuh rambutnya yang pendek, terus lama-lama rambutnya makin panjang gitu. Mika sisirnya tuh nggak nyisir rambut, gimana, jadi nyisir angin gitu. Like Mika tuh nyisir seolah rambut Mika tuh panjang. Dan emang Mika tuh inget banget pas kecil itu Mika kira rambut Mika panjang gitu, panjangnya tuh panjang banget gitu. So I sat in front and I was brushing my hair as if I had long hair, And I vividly remembered that I had long hair, but like apparently I had short hair. So I was just brushing nothing. Like I was just brushing the air. But I thought that it was long. Ya di cermin rambutnya panjang gitu loh. Nah terus ibuku tuh mikir gitu kan, ini anak kenapa gitu. Dan ibuku kan at mikir kayak siapa tahu habis nonton film gitu ya, pengen rambutnya panjang gitu kan ya, berkayal. Nah ibu Mika tuh keluar. Ibunya Mika tuh ke teras buat ngeliat ke bawah karena ayah Mika lagi di bawah kan. Balik-balik, jeng, Mika nggak ada. Mika gone. Udah bener-bener nggak ada. Nah terus ibunya Mika tuh bingung kan, nyari gitu kan. Itu hotelnya hotelnya tuh nggak besar, jadi cuma ada ranjang dan toilet. Mika dicari gitu di toilet, nggak ada. Di manapun tuh nggak ada. Ibunya Mika tuh paling takutnya tuh Mika tuh pas ibunya lagi di teras kan, pintu kebuka, Mika keluar teras terus jatuh gitu kan. Nah ibunya takut. Nah ibunya Mika langsung dong lari keluar kamar, Mika ada di luar gitu. Mika ada di luar kamar. Ini bener-bener true story. This is an actually true story. So when my mom went to the balcony, and when she came back, I was gone, and she was so confused on when I was, like where I was, and her biggest fear was I crawled out of the balcony and fell. So she rushed out of the hotel room. And there I was, right outside the hotel room. And gini chat, Mika tuh umurnya masih kecil, 1. Dan 2, ruangannya tuh dikunci dari dalam. You know, kunci yang itu loh, yang klik-klik gitu, yang bukan kunci beneran, yang kunci harus diklik gitu kan ya. These are the types of rooms that like you lock through, like there's like a physical lock, not a key. Like it's like a sliding lock. And that sliding lock was still on. Like kunci pintu yang masih sliding itu, yang fisikal, itu masih kekunci. Jadi nggak ada yang buka pintu. Tapi Mika di luar. Dan Mika tuh cuma duduk kayak ngeliatin lorongan gitu loh. Mika ngeliatin lorongan kayak gini. Kayak gitu. Dan pas ibunya Mika coba gendong masukin ke dalam kamar, Mika nangis. Like when my mom tried to pick me up to enter the room that's still locked from the inside, by the way, I started crying. So that was like the first ever scary story that my mom ever told me. Jadi apparently gini, opanya Mika pernah kasih tauin pas udah tua, pas Mika udah lebih tua gitu ya. Kakeknya Mika tuh bilang sebenarnya tuh Mika di keluarga kita itu opanya Mika tuh semacam kasih apa ya? Kayak penjaga gitu ya. Jadi Mika tuh dikasih penjaga supaya hal-hal buruk tidak terjadi gitu. Nah, penjaganya Mika itu at that time itu semacam dewa yang nggak tahu Mika juga lupa kalau Mika boleh ngomong ini juga, tapi karena itu Mika tuh bisa melihat ya stando jadi tuh like a spirit guardian, yeah. So because my grandpa practiced black magic, he somewhat gave like a spirit guardian to us, and I had one of my own. And the thing is, right, this is all true story by the way. It came from my grandpa himself, and I've experienced some weird stuff growing up too. Jadi semacam indigo, tapi indigo itu mata Mika ditutup. Jadi nggak bisa melihat, tapi bisa komunikasi dan bisa merasa. If that made any sense. So I can't, like my grandpa closed my eyes because apparently the ghosts he said the ghosts he worked with are very like malevolent, but I can't see them. I can only feel and talk to them at that time. Nah, balik ke cerita pas Mika tinggal di tempatnya Opa Mika. Ya, balik ke cerita pas Mika tinggal di kakek Mika ya. Jadi tuh sering Mika tuh di sana tuh seolah-olah kayak ada yang manggil ya, Mika gitu. Ya Mika keluar apa gitu, gak ada siapa-siapa. Kadang ada yang tiba-tiba jatuh gitu kan. At that time Mika tuh cuman usil aja, cuman kalau misalnya barang tiba-tiba jatuh. Pernah Mika lagi nonton TV. Waktu itu kan TV-nya tuh tua banget, yang masih kotak tebel banget gitu loh. Itu tuh ya tua gitu kan. Mika nonton tuh ya apa adanya gitu. Tiba-tiba juk gitu, ada apa sih, akuarium kecil jatuh pas di depan mata Mika. Mika lihat gak ada yang jatuhin, itu jatuh sendiri gitu. Dan Mika cuman usil aja gitu. Mika cuman kayak hati-hati gitu, jangan, ini ikan loh, nanti meninggoy, jangan gitu. Seolah-olah kayak ngobrol sama entah sama siapa gitu. Dan dapat balasan gitu, cuman gak cuman ngomong kayak gak Gitu-gitulah. Dan at that time Mika tuh cuman kayak, apa jangan-jangan Mika halusinasi gitu. Jangan-jangan Mika halusinasi gitu. Like at that time, when I lived with my grandparents, right, I was watching the old, like super old TV, and like an aquarium right in front of my eyes just fell to the ground, and I was just like, "Hey, don't do that!" Like I was talking to the ghost, like I was just being silly. I was just like trying to talk, like if you can't, like don't make them your enemy, so befriend them. That was my mentality. So I was like, "Don't do that," and suddenly I heard like a no, like that, like in the background, and I was just like, maybe I'm hallucinating, you know? Like I thought that I was like hallucinating. I was like, am I having a mental crisis? Tapi gini, jadi ada satu hal di mana keluarga Mika, jadi itu kan Mika ditinggal situ dengan Mika ditinggal oleh keluarga Mika karena keluarga Mika harus kerja di luar kota. Nah, keluarga Mika balik gitu kan. Nah, pengen jemput Pak Sony. No, yeah, that's how what I imagine. Keluarga Mika balik. Nah, balik-balik itu keluarga Mika tuh nggak spiritual ya, nggak terlalu percaya kayak gini-gini. Balik-balik, ayah Mika tuh datang, terus dia masuk ke lorongnya. Pas ini Mika lihat sendiri, pas ayahnya Mika masuk ke lorongnya, tiba-tiba semua kayak barang-barangnya tuh mulai bergetar. Jadi tuh kayak gitu. Itu bisa kedengeran ada kayak seolah tuh ada kayak seretan di dinding, di lantai gitu. Jadi ayah Mika tuh cuman masuk aja gitu. Dan tiba-tiba semua hal-hal di sekitarnya tuh gerak kayak bener-bener rattling. So my father came, and he's not a big believer in this stuff. So he came, and then like once he entered the hallway to like talk to my grandfather, everything started shaking. Iya, kayak gempa, like an earthquake, like everything like an earthquake. And I saw that, and I was like scared, you know? Everything, like I was shivering. I was like so scared at that time because it never happened. Like I've been there for months and that never happened. Mika tuh dari situ udah lama, udah berbulan-bulan, dan itu nggak pernah terjadi gitu. Jadi juga ya awal Mika kira itu gempa, tapi cuman barang-barangnya yang gerak gitu. Nah terus instingnya Mika itu tuh langsung mau nyeret ayah Mika keluar dari lorongan itu biar Mika aja yang manggil gitu kan. Pas Mika injek itu lorong, semuanya berhenti. Mika nginjek lorong, semuanya langsung diem. Kayak di lorong itu tuh cuma ada aku sama ayah Mika. Jadi tuh gimana ya? Soal aku merasa tuh kayak apa jangan-jangan aku lah setannya gitu. Tapi pas aku injek langsung isn't your dad your grandfather's son? He is, but here's the thing. Once he got older, he sort of adopted another religion. Oh ya, jadi Mika ayahnya Mika tuh pas sudah nikah, dia semacam ngambil agama lain gitu. Jadi tuh dia mulai nggak spiritual gitu ya. Dan dia dia tuh paling nggak suka ke rumah opa. Jadi kita tuh jarang, ayah ibunya Mika jarang ketemu sama opanya Mika gitu, karena emang tempat itu tuh ini rada-rada angker gitu ya. Jadi tuh pas ayahnya Mika injek semuanya gerak, pas Mika masuk diem, bener-bener diem. Nah karena gerakan itu opaku langsung keluar dong, kayak ada apa yang terjadi gitu kan. Ngelihat, nggak tahu dia lihat apa, dia langsung kaget, dia langsung mimisan. Opanya Mika tuh mimisan, tapi dia bodoh amat, dia langsung lari. Tapi ini lucunya, dia lari ngegendong Mika, ayahnya Mika dibiarin. I would say that I was my grandfather's favorite granddaughter. So here's the thing, like everything started shaking and my grandfather came out to check at the ruckus. And I don't know what he saw, but he started nose bleeding. But he didn't care. He ran, and then he picked me up and just like ran out of the house. He left everyone in there. I would say that I'm my grandfather's favorite, you know. Ayahnya dikasih, dia beneran. Jadi tuh Mika digendong keluar gitu ya. Terus langsung opa Mika tuh jempolnya ditaruh di jidat Mika. Jempolnya taruh, dan pas jempol taruh tuh sakit banget. Jadi ayahnya Mika tuh taruh jempolnya, and it was lightly, like he placed his thumb on my forehead very lightly, but I felt so much pain. I remembered that. It felt like I broke my shoulders. Like it felt like my shoulders were like my what? Broken collarbone. It felt like that. Jadi merasa tuh seolah kok kayak tulangnya Mika tuh remuk gitu loh. Tapi opanya Mika tuh cuma taruh jempol. Sakit banget sampai Mika tuh nangis gitu kan. Now that was my first ever painful experience with my grandfather. And the whole time, my grandfather, when he saw me like in pain, he started crying because he was like he doesn't want me to feel pain, but it felt like he needed to do it, you know? Like when my pas Opa Mika lihat gitu, dia tuh mulai nangis karena tuh dia mikir tuh kayak dia tuh nggak mau menyakiti Mika, tapi emang harus gitu, harus nggak tahu kenapa harus gitu. Sakit banget beneran, sampai Mika tuh tiduran buat kayak beberapa menit tuh sakit ngilu. Then actually, here's like I'm gonna dox my grandfather. He had a practice. He told me about his like practices to gain these powers and stuff. And he tried to like teach me it too when I was younger, but I never was good at it. But he had a thing where every morning he would drink a dark coffee, and afterwards he would eat a live baby hamster. I'm not kidding. Jadi opanya Mika tuh dulu, Mika masih nggak tahu kenapa, tapi dulu tuh ya, opanya Mika itu setiap pagi dia bakal minum kopi yang hitam, yang pahit banget. Terus dia bakal makan anaknya hamster, yang masih bener-bener pink gitu. Nah, my grandfather gini. I'll try and explain the layout of my grandfather's house. Mika bakal coba jelasin layout rumahnya. Jadi rumahnya tuh kecil, tapi di luar itu ada akuarium sekitar 10 tangki, isinya hamster semua. Isinya hamster itu tangki gede, semacam buat ikan arwana gitu, tapi isinya hamster gitu. So my grandfather had an aquarium for like big fishes, and he had like 10 of them, and inside were just hamsters. And that's how he got his like baby hamsters. Jadi ada banyak banget anak hamster. Dia bakal jadi pertama kali Mika lihat, serius, I'm not kidding. I wish I was kidding. I wish I'm making this up. Mika, jadi dia tuh keluar rumah, ya kan, lihat gitu nafas. Terus dia lihat hamsternya, terus ambil baby, masih bener-bener anak kecil, masih pink, gak ada bulu, langsung ditaruh di mulut, harash gitu, gluk gitu. He would put it in his mouth, bite it, and swallow it. And at first I thought he was kidding, but once he showed me how to do it. Like he ate it with his mouth open. I could see it. You know? Jadi Mika pernah sekali tuh ditunjukin kan, ini opa kayak gini caranya. Dia nggak kunyah sambil telan, itu mulutnya buka. Jadi Mika lihat semuanya. Literally trauma. I can never get that out of my head. But not if it's curut. No, it's a hamster. Pernah sekali tuh hamsternya tuh baru lahiran. Baru dijilat-jilat sama ibunya gitu, sama induknya dijilat, diambil sama makan gitu. And I don't know why he does that. I don't know why he eats these things. I felt so bad. But yeah, so that was like a weird practice that I can never like, I could never. So my grandfather wanted me to do it, but I could never bring myself to eat a live animal before. Nggak, Mika belum pernah coba. Mika tuh nggak bisa, kayak nggak enak gitu loh. So as a child ya, sebagai anak tuh Mika melihat banyak hal-hal yang kayak gaje kan. Nah jadi tuh agak jijik lah menurut Mika, tapi opa Mika tuh oke. Pernah sekali tuh 1 minggu ayah opa Mika sebelum itu tuh bilang ke Mika kayak, nak, Mika opa 1 minggu bakal ada di ruangan ini, kamu jangan buka pintunya, taruh aja makanan di luar, dan makanannya tuh cuma nasi dengan satu bunga petal, dengan 1 petal bunga mawar. Itu Mika ingat banget. Nah, so once my grandfather told me like, Mika, I'm gonna be in this room. Don't enter the room. Don't open it. Just give my food outside. And the food is one bowl of hot rice with a petal of rose. With 1 petal of rose. And I remember that. Nah, Mika lakuin itu sekali 2 kali. Sehari 2 kali maksudnya. Sehari 2 kali. Dan I think dia bertapa tuh lama banget. 1 minggu nggak keluar. I don't know. Mika nggak tahu dia caranya. Mika cara mikirnya gini. Mika tuh nggak kasih dan air putih ya. Dan I also gave him water. So it's just rice with a petal of rose and water. And then the first thing I thought was, how the heck did this guy poop? Like Mika mikir kayak, ini orang gimana ya, berak kencing gimana gitu kan. Itu kamar tuh nggak ada toilet. Dan dia tuh bener-bener di ruangan itu, buka pintu tuh kecil, cukup untuk tangannya keluar, ambil barang, terus langsung tutup. Jadi tuh, aku cuci dukun, iya, aku emang beneran cuci dukun. Jadi I have a lot of stories about this. Jadi tuh Mika mikir gitu kan. Nah abis seminggu, nah Mika tuh omanya Mika tuh ngetok pintu ya kan ya, tuk 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 gitu. Apa kayak, sayang kamu baik-baik saja gitu kan. Nah dia keluar, pas keluar tuh ya, Mika ingat banget badannya itu tuh kurus, tapi nggak gila kurus banget, tapi kayak ya kusem. Tapi tuh dia pakai baju yang Mika belum pernah lihat. Like after a week, my grandmother knocked on the door at like to check up, and when he came out, he got skinnier, but his clothes were like it's like I've never seen them before, you know? So like it's like as if he got it, like he went shopping. He went shopping, you know, in that room like Loba alt vibes. Kayak dia tuh bener-bener ini apa ya? Dari luar gitu. Tapi Mika bingung gitu loh. Mika bingung terus kata opa Mika tuh kayak opa Mika taruh tangannya di pundak Mika terus kayak opa udah bisa teleportasi. Mika kayak what the heck are you talking about? I don't believe you. Like what do you mean you can teleport? Tapi gini, pas Mika masih kecil ya, Mika tuh datang dari keluarga yang rada miskin. Bisa dibilang miskin, secukupnya gitu. Tapi dia tuh bener-bener serius chat, dia tuh kayak, opa udah bisa teleportasi. Mika kayak, mbahmu. Nanda ya, karena nani kan online shopping for online shopping says true. He told me, he touched my shoulder and he's like, I can teleport. Now I can teleport. And I'm like, are you high? Are you alright? What do you mean you can teleport? But I was just laughing. I was like, okay, whatever. I've made fish. Let's eat. But like, he was so serious about it. So serious about it. But actually, Mika gini, opa Mika tuh udah istilah bertobat ya. Jadi udah bertobat. Udah nggak lakuin itu lagi. My grandfather has since stopped doing black magic, but ever since a lot of bad stuff happened to him. He said it's just part of the journey. Salah satu, jadi opa Mika tuh diabetes. Opa Mika diabetes, tapi tuh dia tuh orangnya lincah banget. Pernah sekali tuh lagi hujan badai. Nah atapnya tuh sempat rusak, jadi dia naik buat benerin atap. Tiba-tiba out of nowhere ya. Ini opa Mika tuh cara ceritanya gini. Opa Mika naik, pertama kali harus turun ambil barang. Nah dia doa, turun, ambil barang, naik. Nah ketinggalan barang lagi, doa, turun, naik. Nah ketiga kali ya dia lupa doa, pas turun, seolah-olah ada orang yang ngedorong, bukan dia, dorong tangganya. Jadi itu tangganya didorong. Jadi saat sama tangganya jatuh. Robek dalam dari kaki sampai ke pinggang. Dan karena dia diabetes ya, itu rada susah. Dia sempat harus dimasukin ke rumah sakit untuk waktu yang sangat lama. Dan it took a very long time. This is a very long time. So my grandfather had to fix his roof during like a storm. Thank you, Susora. My grandfather from Pasay used to have Jin, Mystical Chris, as his companion. Me too! Twinning. Tapi ini kayak so he went up to fix the roof. The way he told me was funny though. He said when he went down, he prayed, he went down and went back up. The second time he prayed, went back down, went back up. The third time he forgot to pray and he fell. But the weird thing is the ladder was the one that fell. Like it was impossible for the ladder to fall because it's literally like tied onto the roof pole. So something has untied it and then pushed it. And then he fell. He had like a deep cut from his leg all the way to his hip. And he had to be in the hospital for a couple of months. But that was a sad story about that. I was very worried. Tapi yeah. Oh no, I'm so sorry. My condolences. I'm sorry for your loss. But yeah, so that like man, before that ya, chat, Mika pernah ngeliat itu opa Mika itu orangnya bisa setelah pensi hamsternya dijual. He sold his hamsters after he stopped. But like at that time Mika sempat bisa melihat, karena Mika tuh bisa ngobrol gitu ya sama hantu, I guess. Not ghosts, but I could talk to spirits at that time. I don't know whether I was hallucinating or not, but I talked to them ever since I was younger. Jadi beberapa kali gitu, believe it or not chat, Mika tuh kan dulu pas kecil tuh usil gitu ya. Mika pernah sekali tuh lagi mager pengen kipasnya dinyalain. Nah itu kipas yang lama yang udah tua tuh loh chat. Yang kipasnya tuh cuman ya gitulah gitu kan. Mika tiduran terus Mika cuman ngomong kayak, tolong dong kipasnya nyalain dong. Kalau nyalain nanti Mika kasih makanannya enak deh gitu. Nyala chat, nyala beneran. When I was younger, I was fooling around, you know. I was laying down, I was lazy, and there was like a fan. Like, I was really hot, and there was a fan. I was just like lazing around, and I just said out loud, I was like, hey, homie, can you turn on the fan? Like, it's really hot. If you do, I'll give you good food later. And it turned on by itself. Malam itu Mika kasih, apa tuh, apa ya, kepalanya sapi. At night, I gave them a cow's head because my grandpa told me that it's good. I was just like, hey homie, can you turn it on? And they're like, I bet. Tapi pernah loh sekali chat. Pernah sekali. Gini, ada horor lagi nih chat. Kan Mika pernah keluar kota buat tinggal di rumah lain gitu ya. Rumah yang sekarang, yang dulu sebelum Mika meninggoy ada di situ gitu. Mika ada kamar sendiri. Nah, ayahnya Mika tuh suatu hari pernah ngajak semacam pendeta, bukan pendeta, apa sih yang buat pembasmi hantu gitu. Nah, dia tuh masuk buat doain rumahnya gitu kan, didoain gitu rumahnya. Nah, pas dia naik, pas mau masuk ke kamarnya Mika, dia langsung jatuh. Terus langsung ditutup pintunya, langsung keluar. I was just there like, I mean, like once my father got a exorcist, I guess, to like pray for the house. So this person prayed for everything, and the moment this person entered my room, they just like fell on their knees and just like crawled out and closed the door. I was just like, I need to sleep here tonight. Mika harus tidur di sini gitu. Kalian kenapa harus takut-takutin Mika gitu? Tapi akhirnya Mika sempet ngetaro manekin. Mika ada kepala manekin gitu ya. Mika gunting kepalanya toh, matanya Mika tutup karena matanya sering Mika lihat gerak-gerak. Dan Mika istilahnya sempat ada ritual buat masukin hantunya ke kepalanya biar hantunya nggak ngusilin gitu. Hantunya tuh ini ya bisa kadang malam-malam jam 3 pagi. Mika bakal digoncangin soalnya kayak gempa. Kadang sampai pernah Mika tuh bangun, depan pintu Mika tuh ada baretan. Kadang juga sampai ada ketokan pintu. Kadang sempet Mika tuh ada kan sebelum malam Mika taruh air putih. Bangun-bangun airnya jadi darah. Tapi darahnya tuh kayak semacam mimisan ditetesin ke air gitu. Jadi merah tapi merahnya nggak padat gitu ya. Sering kok yang nggak jelas kayak gini. Like when I was younger, like I basically got a mannequin, I decapitated it, and I performed a ritual to have the ghost be in it so it's not gonna mess around with me. And what happened? Like, a lot of things happened, right? The ghost would either, like, wake me up as if it's like an earthquake at night at 3 in the morning. Sometimes it would, like, leave scratch marks in front of my door. Sometimes, like, every night I would have a glass of water right beside my bed. Like, once I woke up, and it's like it had, like a mix of blood in it. In the glass. So, it's annoying. It's one annoying ghost. But I end up giving it a name. So I guess it's stuck with me now. Mika, at that time, Mika nggak tahu. Tapi ternyata, kamu nggak boleh kasih nama ya. Jadi kalau misalnya ada hantu, kamu pura-pura jangan tahu aja. Karena kalau kamu acknowledge, kamu kasih nama gitu-gitu, itu bakal nempel ke kamu gitu. Like if you give it a name, apparently it'll stick to you. But I made a mistake of giving it a name. Mika nggak sengaja kasih nama. Jadi sampai Mika meninggoy, itu hantu nempel. Ya gitulah. Kadang gitu Mika merasa sempet dulu pas Mika kecil gitu ya. Bukan kecil sih, pas Mika udah sempet adult gitu. Mika, I named the ghost, I named it. Nah, Mika sempet kasain ke opa Mika kan kayak, "Pa," gitu. "Kok apa ya kayak Mika tuh nggak sengaja gini ini pernah terjadi." Terus dia langsung kayak, "Bentar. Kamu kasih nama?" Terus kayak, "Iya." Terus dia kayak, jangan kasih nama. Terus aku kayak, aku sudah kasih nama. Terus dia kayak, GWS wes kau diikutin gitu kan. Dan setiap kali ya Mika mau ngomong tentang hantunya, tangan Mika, kaki Mika bakal semutan. Sekarang pun rada semutan. Bakal semutan. Like it depends. If I talk well about the ghost, I'm not gonna have like my body's not gonna hurt. But if I insult it, oh, it's gonna hurt. Kalau Mika bakal kayak jelek-jelekin hantunya gitu ya. Sakit ya. Tapi kalau baikin ya baik-baik aja gitu. It's okay. I mean, I got the power of God and anime on my side. Ah. Tapi ya, chat, I'm gonna tell you, here's like a, I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to say this, tapi gini chat, kamu jangan main-main dengan hal-hal kayak gitu. Don't play with black magic. It's not a fun thing. Mika, gini nih chat, kan kalian pernah mikir ya, nih, here is a insight on the black magic world. I don't know if you guys are interested in it. Yikes. Okay, I don't know if you guys are interested in it, but I'll give you an insight. But before that, I'm gonna get a snack because I wanna snack as I tell you the story about. I'm basically doxing. Well, give me a sec. Yeah, snacks. Nih, Cak, kalian jangan mikir gitu ya. Jangan pernah mikir kayak, aduh, aku pengen bisa main black magic nih. Aku pengen bisa main black magic karena enak nih. Aku bisa teleportasi, aku bisa gini, aku bisa gitu. Jangan pernah. Karena gini, Chat. Semua tuh ada pembayaran. Yang Mika belajar dari offernya Mika itu, kamu bakal dapat sesuatu, tapi kamu harus bayar sesuatu. Itulah caranya. Karena hantu itu stonks. Kayak misalnya Mika gitu ya. Mika kasih kalian konten, kalian harus subscribe. Tadi gitu. Kasar juga ngambil snacknya. Ini karena deket sama mic, jadi kedengeran, maaf. Equivalent exchange. So don't play with black magic. You gotta have equivalent exchange in that. For example, I stream, you subscribe. I stream, you donate. Mika stream, kalian donasi. Tapi, gini, gak ada yang mau lakuin buat gratis ya. Thank you. The line of the mood talking about fall. It's so easy to fall in love, but hard to fall for someone who will catch you. Will you catch me with flower? My hands are right here. Come. Tapi gini, Chat. Misalnya ya, for example, kadang kan bisa nih, kalau misalnya ada kastawin gitu, kalau misalnya kamu black magic, kamu bisa lakuin ini, kamu bisa melihat, apa ya cara bilangnya, kamu bisa ketemu orangnya gitu, atau bisa istilahnya, misalnya nih ada orang nyuri dari kamu mau ketemu nih siapa yang nyuri gitu kan, kamu bisa pakai black magic untuk ketemu ini orang, kayak gitu, misalnya ya gitu. Untuk jelasin aja ya, how it looks like visually, kayak visualnya tuh gimana pas lagi lakuin itu tuh seolah-olah kamu tuh mengimbang di antara hitam dan putih, dan kamu lihat dari ke bawah, bisa lihat gitu, bisa lihat. Tetapi Chat, kalau kamu lakuin itu, tergantung ya, orangnya tuh sesusah apa dan imbalannya apa, kamu dapat apa, istilah kamu ketemu orang ini tuh kamu dapat apa gitu. Depending kayak sekeras apa, kalian harus timbang. Jadi tiba-tiba kalau enggak bisa rangingnya tuh, kalau enggak barang kamu bisa hilang yang lain, ada orang yang bakal sakit, ada orang yang bakal kecelakaan, atau enggak kamu yang bakal sakit, seperti itu. Sorry, can't watch your stream right now because need to do something. Here's sesajen, thank you for sesajen. It's okay, have fun doing your thingy. Tapi kayak gitu, Chat. Jadi there's always gonna be equivalent exchange in everything. So if you wanna do black magic, it depends on how much, like how valued that is, and they're going to get something in return. So never do that. Jadi hal-halnya tuh nggak cuman kayak enak ya, kayak aku bisa teleportasi. Enggak. Kamu harus lakukan sesuatu. Teleportasi tapi nanti kakimu hilang. Tapi Joy nelpon katanya mau nganterin dia pulang. Yes, Queen. Thank you. Because we are GWS. Gini nih. Udah lagi makan apa? Mika lagi makan pai susu. Dikasih Hyuna. Nah. Tapi ya, not a lot of black magic. I can't tell you a lot because if I do, I'm gonna get like murdered. So let's not do that. But here's more scary stories, chat. You wanna hear a really scary story? Mika pas kecil itu sering ngomong kayak ajak ngobrol orang gitu ya. Kayak teman imajinasi. Dan Mika tuh bener-bener ngobrol sama itu orang. Kayak about my day. Dan Mika tuh kira itu tuh kayak tetangga. Jadi tuh orangnya bilang kan, Mika tuh pernah membuat teman pas kecil. Anak kecil juga. Anaknya tetangga gitu kan. Mika ngobrol, sering main bareng gitu. At that time kan dia namanya di Indonesia gitu ya. Kadang kalau mandi itu bisa di luar gitu kan, di luar rumah pakai selang buat cuci mobil, mandi bareng gitu. I wasn't raised privileged, chat. We need to save water. So when I was younger, I made a friend, a neighbor's child. And at that time in Indo, it's kind of normal to kind of like go outside the house and like shower with what you wash cars with and stuff because I don't know. It's kind of normal here, I guess. And I wasn't raised with a lot of money, so gotta save the water. Might add something, little flower. There's no such thing as equivalent exchange with them since they always got more than what we gained. I mean, I agree, but I can't say that out loud. Like, I can't say that out loud because, yeah, because of reasons. That would be talking bad about them. And if I talk bad about them, nah. Thank you for the super chat though. But yeah, jadi Mika tuh sering hangout sama anaknya temannya tetangga gitu. Tahu nggak chat yang serem apa? Pas Mika umur 10 tahun, Mika kan ada mau ulang tahun nih. Mika mau kepanjangan nih. Berarti dapat hatinya Mika harus ada bayaran juga. Kalau gitu aku kasih hatiku juga Nah, kasih donasi 10 juta rupiah. Itu kenapa ikut kompetisi ini Jisanji. Stonks. Tapi gini, pas Mika umurnya 10 tahun kan, Mika mau rayain ulang tahun di McDonald's. Yeah, I wanted to have a birthday party in McDonald's, right? Jadi Mika ke tetangga Mika, terus Mika ketok gitu, tutuk, misi bu, pengen ngajak anakmu, pengen ini ada invitasi gitu kan, Mika kasih invitasi. Terus ibunya bingung gitu kan, oh, nanti yang datang tante sama om ya gitu. So aku kayak, anaknya tante nggak datang? Terus dia kayak, enggak, tante nggak punya anak. Terus Mika kayak, hah, nama tante ini kan? Kayak iya. Omnya namanya ini kan? Iya. Nama anak tante ini kan? Terus dia kayak, kok kamu bisa tahu? So kayak, lah, kita baru aja main. Kayak berapa hari yang lalu tuh kita baru main gitu kan. Ya kan bilang kan, lah kan dia kasih tauin aku tante gitu. Terus tantenya bilang dong, maaf nak, anak tante sudah meninggal. Kan, I was like, So basically, when I was 10, and I wanted to invite my friend, my neighbor's child, to a birthday party of mine, I went to their house and I knocked on the door. I was like, no, like, excuse me, ma'am, I wanna like, can your family come to my birthday party? And she's like, oh, all right, I'll be coming with my husband. And I'm like, oh, invite your child. And then she was like, huh? We don't have a child. And I was like, you do. She's like, we don't. And I was like, your name is this, right? She's like, yeah. It's like, your husband's name is this, right? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, and your child's name is this, right? And she's like, how did you know? And I'm like, your child told me. And she's like, I'm sorry, but my child passed away. And I was like, Who the heck have I been playing with for almost a couple of months now, huh? Like Mika udah main bareng dia tuh udah berbulan-bulan. Kayak aku ngomong sama siapa? Gila man. That was the first moment when I was like, am I going insane? Am I going insane? Oh yeah, that was another scary story. Ekspresi Mika kayak mana? Kayak gini kayak. Kayak gitu. Oh, so scary. When that happened, aku tinggal tadi pas cerita di rumah kakek pas datang dapat cerita yang lebih lama. Kak ada cemilan bagi-bagi apa? Nggak mau. Nggak mau, Mika lapar. I'm scared of actually Mika from Ninja Sanchi actually is our hallucination. Try donating. If you donate and it comes through, probably it's not your donation. Stonks. Tadi kue sopo. True. Me like, lah. Tadi kue sopo. My bread. I have bread. Yay. How about your horror story in school? Oh, I have a lot of that. Okay, I'll tell you, chat. Give me a sec. I'm gonna eat some bread. Okay. Roti. Makan terus mbak. Lapar, maaf Thomas. Here's a horror story I had in school. Jadi tuh mereka dulu tuh pas SD. Gimana ceritanya? Jadi to give context, untuk konteksnya dulu. Pas Mika SD tuh ini nggak dibilang Mika tuh dibully ya, tapi tuh kayak rada ansos gitu loh. Bukan ansos juga ya, kayak cara jelasin gimana ya? Kayak ada temen, tapi temennya Mika tuh anak-anak yang kayak suka baca komik gitu-gitu loh. Ya kan? Pas kecil. Jadi tuh Mika tuh nggak terlalu suka olahraga gitu-gitu, jadi nggak bisa masuk ke kelompok yang populer gitu loh. Nah terus, tapi Mika nggak apa-apa, Mika yang penting kan nggak dihina-hina, nggak dibully gitu kan ya. Jadi Mika vibing gitu kan. Nah terus suatu hari tuh salah satu dari temennya Mika itu tuh temennya Mika tuh neat gitu, dan at one point Mika tuh mulai suka volley. Mereka suka main volley sama badminton. Jadi Mika ngikut gitu kan, ngikut volley dan badminton. Akhirnya teman Mika makin jadi kelompok populer. Tapi karena itu Mika tuh istilah jadi temen sama ya siapapun bisa gitu loh. Kayak sama yang populer ya wes, sama yang enggak ya nggak apa-apa gitu. Karena itu gitu, karena emang mulainya tuh dari yang nggak populer gitu kan. Nah di sekolah Mika, di angkatan Mika itu tuh ada satu anak tuh yang autis. Nah dia tuh teman dekatnya Mika gitu. Karena Mika tuh your favorite volleyball must be Mika's. But it's when I was in in school, I wasn't really the popular kid, but I wasn't bullied either. But at one point, I started enjoying volleyball and badminton. That's how I became like more well known with the popular group. And in our grade, there was one child that had autism. Yeah, and I befriended him. At the time, right, Indo wasn't as open-minded about it, so not a lot of people would want to befriend him. But I befriended him because I genuinely think he's a fun person. So, his only friend is me, but I'm not his only friend. Oh, wait, no, what? His only friend is me, but he's not my only friend. Yeah. Jadi at that time kan pas kecil tuh ya, anak-anak yang ada autis gitu-gitu kan masih kena ya ya gitu lah, masih kena bully gitu ya. Jadi temennya dia tuh cuman Mika, tapi temennya Mika tuh bukan hanya dia gitu. Nah itu situasinya. Nah itu that's the situation, oke? Okay? And then jadi tuh this guy, he would, I don't know why, but I think I don't know a lot about autism, so I'm sorry if I misinform. So please don't use this as information. This is just from experience. Ini dari experience Mika ya. Jadi Mika nggak tahu banyak tentang autism. Jadi maaf kalau ada yang salah. Ini cuma dari tebakan. Dia itu suka banget. Pokoknya hal-hal yang konsisten. Dia kalau ke kantin itu cuma mau lewat satu tangga. Kalau makan pun kayak kalau dia nggak mau pesen kalau misalnya yang jual tuh bukan orang yang A gitu. Kalau orang A lagi di break, lagi di toilet, dia nggak mau gitu. Jadi Mika temenin gitu. Pulang sekolah pun, nah gini, Mika tuh sering kan pulang sekolah tuh sekitar jam 3 sore. Nah dia tuh nunggu bus. Dia tuh dulu suka naik bus kayak antar jemput gitu. Tapi karena sekali tuh bus antar jemputnya tuh diubah jadwalnya. Jadi lebih cepat. Maksudnya bukan diubah sih, ditambah gitu ya. Jadi kan antar jemputnya jam 4, biar sama kayak anak-anak yang SMA gitu. Jadi kan awalnya tuh cuma ada satu, jam 4. Nah sekarang ada jam 3 dan jam 4.30. Nah ada 2. Karena temen Mika tuh nggak tahu kenapa, tapi dia tuh nggak pengen ikut yang jam 3. Walaupun jam 3 tuh bisa dia ambil. Tapi karena dia udah terbiasa di sekolah sampai jam 4, dia lebih mending nunggu sampai 4.30 seperti itu. Oke banget dengerin cerita gini. Thank you for the donation, Dareka. Terima kasih donasinya. Jadi Mika temenin gitu. Mika temenin karena Mika juga naik kan, antar jemput gitu. Jadi Mika temenin sampai jam 4.30. Walaupun Mika juga bisa pulang jam 3. So at that time, we had like not a school bus, but it's like a pickup service because we don't have a bus. It's like a little van. And at that time, they only had one. So at 4, we get out of class at 3, but like the high schoolers get out at 4. That's why the pickup car thing was at 4. And one day they changed the schedule. They made it so that there's a 3 o'clock and a 4:30 o'clock, so that there's 2. But because my friend had autism, I don't know why, but he did not want to go to the 3 o'clock. So because I joined it too and he joined it too, I accompanied him until 4:30. So that was like my regime at that time. Like I would get out of school and just chill with him for an hour and a half waiting for the van. Mika bakal selesai kelas terus cuman bakal kayak ya main sama dia buat 1,5 jam sampai dateng antar jemputnya gitu kan. Walaupun bisa sebenarnya Mika langsung pulang bisa, cuman karena emang dia teman Mika gitu, Mika mau temenin gitu kan. Dan seru juga orangnya gitu. It's not even night right now. Tapi gini, jadi once I came out of class at 3. Jadi Mika keluar dari kelas jam 3. Dan Mika ke bawah, ke tempat antar jemput. Ingat banget itu ada vending machine. Itu bukan vending machine sih, kayak mesin buat kayak ala-ala gitu. Tapi kita bisa beli minuman lah. Jadi Mika beli minum, Mika duduk gitu kan, tungguin kayak biasa. Karena Mika seringnya tuh beliin minum tuh teh, buah teh, you know, no branding but you know, Mika beli 2, satu buat aku, satu buat teman Mika gitu. Karena emang dia teman Mika tuh udah terbiasanya kayak gitu. So I went downstairs at 3 and I waited for my friend. I bought like a sweet tea in the machine, like a not a machine, but it's like an honesty jar, if I have to be honest. Like you can get it and then you can pay it accordingly in a jar, basically. And I would always buy 2, one for me, one for my friend, because that's the habit. And if I don't do that, yeah, you saying it, but like if I don't buy it, my friend would be kind of uncomfortable throughout the day, and I realized that once, so I did it ever since. Jadi Mika tungguin 30 menit nggak datang. Nah itu kan nggak terbiasa. Seringnya tuh cuma 10 menit pasti udah datang gitu kan. 30 menit nggak datang. Nah Mika tuh takutnya dia kena bully. Mika tuh at the time takut banget tuh dia kena bully sama senior atau kenapa gitu kan. Mika langsung cari dong. Tapi gini, ini masalahnya tuh gini, Mika tuh nggak tahu kalau Mika harus cari dia atau tungguin. Karena kalau misalnya dia datang dan Mika nggak ada, Mika juga khawatir gitu loh. Jadi kalau misalnya dia datang terus tiba nggak ada kan nge-break regime dan dia bakal merasa takut gitu kan takutnya. Tapi kalau dia ngebully kan jadi gimana gitu loh. Jadi akhirnya habis udah 30 menit ya Mika cari gitu kan karena nggak jelas, nggak mungkin 30 menit gitu loh dari kelas ke bawah sambil ngobrol itu paling cuma 6 menit. Nggak sampai 30 menit. Jadi Mika cariin dari ke kelas dia, Mika nanya kan ke kelasnya nggak ada orang. Terus Mika ingat kayak kan masih ada kayak ekskul gitu-gitu kan. Jadi Mika ke tempat gymnya, ke tempat apa ke lapangannya. Terus Mika nanya gitu kan, ada yang lihat nggak ini orang gitu. Terus dia kayak nggak ada gitu kan. Dan Mika ke kantin, Mika kemana-mana nyari, bener bukan sampai Mika masuk ke toilet pria. Dan ini orang autisnya pria by the way. So this kid with autism is a boy. So I looked everywhere for him because it didn't make sense. This person's gone for 30 minutes, and at first the dilemma was like, should I go and look for him and risk having him come and not have me there, or should I like wait because I'm very scared that he's bullied. You know, I was scared that he was bullied. So I like waited for 30 minutes, and I decided to go look for him. So I looked for him everywhere, from the gym to the canteen. I even talked to the seniors. I even went into the boys' toilet to look for him because I didn't know where he was. Jadi mereka cariin gitu kan. Udah ke toilet cowok segala, nggak ada. Jadi akhirnya chat, you know where I found him? Di atap. That was so scary to me. Jadi sekolah kita tuh bentuknya gini, kita ada atap, tapi cara naik ke atap tuh ada ruangan yang dikunci. Ruangan yang dikunci dan nggak boleh masuk. Nggak tahu itu anak cara masuknya gimana gitu kan. Tapi Mika lihat dari atas gitu, dia lagi di atap, bukan on the roof. What's the roof, you know? Like atapnya tuh flat by the way, atapnya tuh flat. Jadi atapnya tuh datar, nggak seperti rumah gitu. Dia duduk di atas. Mika langsung kaget dong. Langsung teriak kan kayak, kamu ngapain di sana gitu, ayo turun, jangan, hati-hati nanti bisa jatuh gitu kan. Dia diam aja. Mika langsung panik dong. Mika lari ke tempat buat naik ke atap ya. Pas Mika kesana kekunci beneran. Sampai sekarang Mika nggak tahu cara dia naik gimana. Tapi itu kekunci, langsung Mika panik, Mika teriak. Itu pertama kalinya Mika pernah teriak-teriak histeris di sekolah. Itu pertama kalinya. Dan last time, that was the first time I've ever had like a hysterical screaming moment at school. Because I found my friend on the roof, and the roof of the school is flat. All right, and the way to get up there is through like a door that's locked with like a padlock. And like I was telling him like get down, like be like don't stay there, you're gonna fall, blah blah blah. He wasn't listening. He was just standing still, and I ran to the room to go up. But it's still locked. I don't know how he got up there. Like, I started screaming. I started screaming my brains out to get someone to like get here and open the door and help him out, you know? Like Mika tuh langsung teriak-teriak gitu kan, kayak aduh gimana nih gitu kan. Mika teriak, akhirnya ada satpam yang dengar. Terus pas satpam yang dengar, kenapa deh gitu. Itu loh, ini orang lagi di atas itu kan, tolong gitu. Pas satpamnya lihat juga bingung gitu. Like me and the security guard was just looking at the door, and it's like, how the heck did he get up there? So then satpamnya itu ngebuka, akhirnya satpamnya, because I was screaming so loudly karena Mika teriak banget ya, sampai ada guru juga yang datang, beberapa guru, and like a bunch of teachers came, and like they all came up there to try and get him like down, and everyone just kept like saying that like ever since then people kept saying that it was like a suicide attempt. But here's the thing, ini nih, banyak yang bilang kan kayak dia tuh lagi coba kayak bundir gitu loh. Tapi ini masanya, pas dia turun, dia bener-bener matanya tuh kayak gini, chat, kayak gini. His eyes were like this. Like there's nothing, it's soulless. And then like I talked to him, he didn't say anything. He didn't even refer to me, didn't look at me. Dia kayak nggak lihat aku, dia nggak ngomong ke aku. Dan aku cuman kayak, halo, kamu gimana gitu kan. Mika sampai temenin, jadi tuh kan dia harus dibawa ke rumah sakit. Mika temenin di klinik dulu gitu. Pas di klinik, kan Mika duduk kan sebelah dia gitu. Mika kayak coba ngomong tentang apa yang dia suka gitu. At that time dia suka banget sama mobil-mobilan gitu. Jadi Mika bilang kan kayak, tahu nggak ada mobil-mobilan ini? Ya masa masih anak kecil gitu loh. Cara gimana gitu ya? Jadi Mika ada loh yang baru nih, Mika bawa mobil-mobilan nih. Lihat deh, keren kan gitu loh. Kayak coba-coba keren gitu loh. Kayak iya dong ngeng gitu. Dan seringnya kalau ada aku udah taruh nih mainan motor, mobil, dia pasti bakal suka. Tapi dia bener diem, kayak gak ngapa-ngapain. At that time, Mika kira dia tuh kayak saking parahnya dibully sampai bener-bener dia kayak jatuh banget dan Mika udah khawatir gitu kan. Dan Mika ngomong kan kayak, kamu tahu kan kita kan masih temenan. Kamu jangan gitu lagi ya. Aku tahu sekolah bisa susah tapi ada aku kok. Kalau kamu ada apa-apa bisa ke aku aja. Ya, gitu loh. I was trying to be like, I was telling him like I thought I was bullied so much and I didn't notice like he was bullied so much that like he wanted to like commit something like that. So I was like sitting down, I was like, hey, I know you're going through a hard time and like I know you're getting bullied, but like I'm here for you, and if there's anything you can talk to me, and you can always just hang out with me, you're never alone, okay? But the dude didn't say anything. Dia kayak gak ngomong apa-apa balik, dia cuma diem. Man, aku takut banget pas di situ. I still this thing yang bikin serem sih ya. Link art thumbnailnya ada di Twitter kok linknya. Jadi ini yang bikin serem kan akhirnya orang tua dia datang. Mika pulang gitu kan, besoknya dia nggak ada. Dia akhirnya nggak ke sekolah buat 3 bulan dia nggak ke sekolah. Dan at that time tuh Mika nggak tahu dia tinggal di mana juga. Jadi udah 3 bulan, pas datang Mika langsung dong kayak, welcome back, how are you doing gitu kan, kayak halo gimana, udah 3 bulan men gitu kan. Dia langsung bilang kayak, kamu siapa ya gitu. Dia kayak, who are you to me, like he just looked at me, he's like, who are you? I was like, it's only been 3 months man, like you forgot about me already? And he was just like, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. Dia kayak, maaf aku nggak tahu kamu siapa. Terus Mika kayak, okay. I was kind of sad, tapi ternyata dia nggak inget kayak banyak banget kok. Bukan hanya Mika, dia nggak inget gurunya. Dan dia tuh personality langsung berubah. Kayak dia mulai sering ngomong sendiri. Dia sering kayak kalau pergi kemana-mana tuh pengennya sendiri. Like he just completely changed the person ever since then. Like he just talked to himself. He only wanted to be with himself, and he forgot a lot of like the teachers and his classmates. So I was like, I didn't take it personally. Mika nggak ambil sampai kayak, aduh masa iya dia lupa Mika, karena dia lupa semuanya gitu loh. Jadi Mika kaget kan. Nah terus akhirnya kita graduate ya. Sebenarnya Mika nggak tahu apa yang terjadi dengan dia. Tapi suatu hari Mika nanya ke opanya Mika itu, kayak, apa ada nggak sih kayak hantu yang bisa istilahnya kayak gimana ya? Possession tuh gimana gitu kan? Terus ciri-cirinya sama cuy. Man, ciri-cirinya exactly the same with what happened to my friend that's autistic. Like, Mika nanya kan one day I asked my grandfather like, hey, what happens during a possession? And the way he explained it was exactly the same like what happened to my friend. So I think he was possessed. Kayak Mika mikir dia tuh bener keposesi. Tapi that was pretty sad. That was, but I think so. Dan kalau misalnya ada yang nanya kan tadi masih temenan, enggak, karena at that time tuh HP juga jarang dan kita nggak tahu apapun tentang HP. Dan Mika nggak tahu sekarang dia di mana. Dia pun udah nggak tahu Mika tuh siapa. Oh ya. Itulah cerita sedih / seram teman dekat Mika pertama. Ya. Moga-moga aja baik-baik saja. I hope he's doing alright. At that time, phones weren't really a booming thing, and we didn't have phones. So, thank you for your donation. Hey, Miss Kunti, I hope your friend wasn't mind wiped by that incident. I hope so. I don't know how he's doing, but I hope he's doing alright. But yeah, at that time, like, we don't have phones, so it's really hard to keep in contact. I don't know where he went. Plus, he probably doesn't even know who I am anymore. So basically, if we befriend with you, we got possessed? No! What do you mean? What? That was a sad story. I'm kinda crying. I miss him. He was a good friend of mine. Damn. That was one of the scary, sad stories I remember because I was so scared at that time. Waktu itu tuh Mika bener-bener takut banget karena itu. Jadi, tapi juga sedih. Tapi itu satu hal yang paling seremin di masa sekolahnya Mika. That's why, you guys should take care of yourself. Don't forget about me. Kalian jangan sampai lupa Mika, nanti Mika sedih. It's okay. I'm okay now. I'm okay. It was a weird memory that I had. Huh. You wanna know a funny story instead? to lift the mood. To lift the mood, we'll have a... Tapi Mika nggak nangis loh waktu teriak-teriak. Nangis! I cried when I was screaming. Dude, I was bawling my eyes. I was like... I was losing it. I was so scared. Man. But yeah. I hope he's doing alright. I hope he's doing alright. Funny story time. Alright. Oh, guys, do you wanna know the story of my first love? Kalian mau tahu nggak cerita Mika punya crush dulu? Dan anaknya ada di live stream ini. Oh, hello my friend. Kasih tauin gak ya? Malu. Ini. Crush apa ya? Pokoknya crush pertamanya Mika itu Mika punya crush ke ini orang itu 8 tahun lamanya, tau gak sih? I like this one person for 8 years. 8 years. Cinta monyet. 8 tahun cinta monyet. Kau monyet. Hey Zen. Bonk. You wanna know the full story? Donate. I'm kidding. I'll tell you, I'm kidding. Okay, so here. Taksiran kah? Ya, Mika sempet naksir orang. Itu untuk 8 tahun lamanya. Yaba. But I'm gonna end. You're gonna love this story. Kalian bakal suka ini cerita. Oke, gini deh, dengerin nih. Jadi, Mika sempet suka orang. Nah ini, karena gini nih ya, kan kita di Indonesia nih, realistik aja. Semua orang di Indonesia tuh rambut hitam, mata hitam. Paling jauhnya rambutnya coklat tua, matanya coklat tua. Gitulah ya, kayak gak banyak warna-warni gitu kan ya. Nah terus, gini nih. Like, I'm gonna just be honest, like in Indo, like, the majority either has dark brown or black hair with eyes of like either dark brown or black, right? Do you tell? Okay. Jadi, so it's like this. At that time, pas Mika tuh suka dari SD 1. What is SD? Primary School 1? I like this dude since primary school 1 until middle school. Mika suka dari SD 1 sampai SMP kelas 2. Nah, Mika suka orang ini karena dia blaster. At first itu karena dia blaster. Kayak banyak orang tuh suka sama ini orang sebenarnya, tapi apa ya, dia deketnya sama Mika gitu. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Pas masih kecil chat, gini, Mika tuh suka banget sama orang yang matanya hijau. I really like guys with green eyes. I don't know why. Like, I like people with green eyes, if anything. That's why I have green eyes, see? Kayak, Mika tuh, apa ya? Green eyes are my weak point. Mata hijau itu membuat Mika kayak, ahoy! Gitu loh. Ahoy! Jadi, mata dia tuh hijau. Ya kan? Nah, Mika tuh nggak tahu kalau dia tuh sebenarnya populer gitu. Jadi Mika satu hari pas masih SD 1 kan masih anak kecil gitu kan. Mika duduk, terus Mika liatin dia, terus Mika cuma kayak, mata kamu cakep cuy. I didn't know what to do, so I sat there. Tapi enggak. I like all eyes now. Ini cuma dulu. Ini tuh pas masih kecil gitu kan. Masih kecil kan mikirnya cepet gitu loh, kayak oh ya, hijau, mata hijau, wah gitu kan pas kecil. Sekarang mah kan personality. That was when I was younger. When I was younger, when you're younger you're like, ooh, that person looks cute. But now it's like personality, you know. But yeah, jadi Mika duduk, I sat in front of him and I was like, dang, you have really pretty eyes, you know. Ever since then we became friends. Jadi kita jadi temenan. Nah itu deh. Aku di friendzone. Tapi jadi tuh gini chat, let me explain to you how he looks like. Mika kasih deh, dia kayak gimana badannya, fisiknya ya. Matanya hijau, rambutnya coklat muda. I was like, dang, you looking kinda bright right now. What is this light mode? But dang cute. So, like he had green eyes with like light brown hair. Dan tau gak chat yang bikin Mika tuh kayak sempet ahui gitu kan, sempet ahui. Jadi dia tuh numbuhin rambutnya. Terus pas kelas berapa itu? Kelas 6, kelas 7. When I was in like middle school or like grade 6, I forgot, but he grew his hair and his teachers were telling him to cut it, but he didn't want to. So like, I don't know whether he's trying to be rebellious, but he tied his hair. So it becomes like the girls, you know, like because the girls have their hair tied, right? Jadi tuh kan gurunya kan kayak kamu harus gunting rambutnya, dan dia nggak mau, jadi dia ikat rambutnya gitu. I don't know why, that made me like, ooh, so cute gitu. Bisa? Bobon? Emang Bobon kayak gitu? Let me turn on the background music because it's not scary anymore. Yay! Gini chat. Jadi gitu. Oh no, actually, what if it actually is? Actually chat. No, it's not. There is no way. He was tiny. He was so small. Dia masih kecil. Ini nggak mungkin numbu-numbu kayak gitu. Tapi gak chat. Rambutnya tuh hijau. Terus matanya hijau. Rambutnya coklat muda gitu kan. So aku cuman kayak hey gitu, ya kan. Nah terus Mika suka sama dia gitu buat 8 tahun. Aduh. Ya man. Not. Bukan Bobon. Tapi Mika suka, tapi Mika tuh gak pernah bisa flirt. Tapi kayak tuh dia sempet pernah suka Mika balik. Kita gak sih? Tapi gini chat, pas kelas 2 SD ini Mika inget banget, kita lagi duduk di perosotan gitu kan. Terus dia kasih nih kayak, Mika nih aku bikin gelang untuk kamu gitu kan. Ya gila chat, aku langsung salting man. I was like I was like one day we were sitting on a slide and he's like, I got you a bracelet, and I lost the chat. I was like, oh my god, we're getting married. Mika udah kayak buset kita bakal nikah gitu kan, kayak waduh gitu, apakah ini cincin pernikahan gitu. Oh my god, so gila, mas kecil namanya chat. I was so young. And then dia tuh ada gelang buat diri sendiri gitu. Jadi punyanya dia tuh warnanya apa ya? Warnanya biru, punyanya Mika warnanya pink gitu. Like he made us a bracelet. His bracelet was blue and my bracelet was pink. And then I was like, oh my god, you know? Mika tuh dijemput ibunya Mika kan. Mika kan pulang, terus dijemput mamanya Mika, ya kan? Terus dia nanya kayak, kok kamu seneng banget hari ini gitu kan? Terus Mika kayak, Mah, Mika sudah nikah gitu. Aku udah kayak, Mah, Mika sudah nikah, Mah gitu. I was like, my mom picked me up and my mom's like, what got you so happy? And I was like, Mom, I'm married now. I am married. kecil, jadi nggak halu gitu loh. I was young, of course I was like losing my mind. I was like, dang mom, like malam-malam gitu ya mikirin kayak, aduh nama akhir dia kan ini, nanti Mika nama akhirnya juga deh, gitu. Ayo, yo, 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 apa deh, ayo, suka shit. Like I was thinking at night, like, oh, his last name is this, my name's gonna be this then, like Mika with his last name. I was like, oh dang. It's okay, chat. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna confess. Mika bakal jujur. See, I am open to my chat. Mika tuh terbuka dengan kalian semua. See, Gak ada Mika peran aja, Nanda yang peran aja, Nanda. GWS, thank you. Nih, Mika tuh gak ada malu. Di depan kan kalian semua tuh adalah apa ya, keluarga Mika. Kalian adalah melati cultsku. Jadi Mika bakal terbuka. Inilah pas waktu Mika masih kecil dan ya mari Anda yang rawat. Ya. Jadi gini ya. Tapi serius chat, Mika senang banget gitu kan. Terus sekolah Mika tuh pernah ada ekskul gitu, kita nge-camping, nge-field trip gitu kan, camping gitu. We had a camping for the whole school. Nah terus di bus Mika duduk di sebelah dia kan, kayak sok keren gitu, kayak halo bro. Halo bro, ada apa bro? Ew. I was like trying to be cool, you know. I don't want him to know I liked him, so I was just like, I sat beside him on the bus and I was just like, hey homie, what you doing? Like trying to friend, you know, like we're just friends. What do you mean? But like bro, I really was like I'm sitting next to him. Like I was doing that. I was doing the most. Kayak Mika sebenarnya dalam hati tuh kayak Mika duduk sebelah dia gitu kan. Tapi ya keluar di mulut tuh cuman kayak, apa sih? Biasa aja. Mika duduk di sini biasa aja gitu. What's up bro? Nice eyes. Man, I was just chilling. Dan tau gak sih at that time ada beberapa cewek kan suka dia kan. Dan karena Mika tuh teman deketnya dia tuh, ceweknya tuh sempat marah sama Mika gitu kan, kayak kamu tuh ya suka sama cewek, kamu tuh kenapa sih deketin sama dia terus gitu. And my response, jawaban Mika tuh cuman kayak, kamu jangan iri. Cringy. Like at that time, because a lot of girls liked him, like there was a group of girls that got mad at me and they were like why are you with him? Like you know that like we like him, you know. And then my response was just like, don't be jealous. Iri bilang bos. Ding. I was so cringy. I was so cringy, chat. I would cringe at myself. I was like, ugh, disgusting. Namanya masih kecil lah. Kalian pasti ada cerita kecil pas malu-maluin juga kan? Don't judge me, Hatsui. I know you guys have embarrassing childhood stories too. I just choose to tell it to everyone. But yeah, so I liked him for 8 years. Tapi tau gak, yang bikin sedih, chat, kenapa sampai sekarang Mika tidak bisa? Why I did not end up being with this person? Kenapa? Kalian tahu? Dia homo. Apparently, the guy I liked for 8 years was gay. Dia kasih tauin ke Mika gitu kan. Jadi tuh dia ngomong kayak, tahu kan, Mika bilang kan kayak bercanda gitu kan, kayak ini cowok cute ya gitu kan, ini lucu ya orangnya gitu, lucu. Terus dia kayak iya lucu loh gitu kan. I was joking, he wasn't. Like I was telling them like, look at this guy, he kinda cute. And he's like, damn, that kinda cute though. I was joking. He wasn't joking. So TLDR, I had a crush on a guy for 8 years and apparently he's gay. Mika pernah sempat suka sama orang buat 8 tahun, ternyata dia homok. So, guys with green eyes and brown hair, you traumatize me. I'm kidding. Kita masih temenan dan Mika support dia. Mika nge-support saja. Mika hanya nggak bercanda. Tapi nggak sih, kayak Mika tahu account dia, tapi udah nggak ngobrol karena namanya juga Mika pindah sekolah, jadi kita udah nggak ngobrol, jadi Mika nggak tahu apapun tentang itu. I don't know anything about that because I moved schools and I didn't really keep in contact, but I know his account, but I don't talk to him anymore. Like that's kind of awkward. That's why Mika bilang bukan Om Bobon. Bukan Om Bobon. That's what I'm telling you, it's not Bobon because he gay. He gay. Mika udah ke cringe ternyata. Ya. Terima kasih Zed. How about make submissions about how cringy you are when child to viewer dan bahan review? Nah, you know actually, Mika kan bakal ada confession reading tanggal 19. Nanti Mika bakal buka formnya setelah streamnya ya. Nanti kalian easy. So I made a form for you guys to fill where you can just tell me all of your sins. I'll be posting it after the stream. You confess your sins, repent, I'll be here, I'll be listening, and I'll be reading them on stream. Let's go, Malaticals! I'm not the only embarrassing one, I know it. Ayo, nah itu boleh. Tapi kalian isi beneran, nanti Mika baca. Biar seru, kan confession reading gitu nih. Mika udah mulai dulu, Mika sudah open, Mika sudah terbuka. I'm open to you guys, now it's time for you guys to be open to me. Mika, kalian harus terbuka dengan Mika, gitu. Yeah. But imagine chat kan ada yang bercanda-canda kan kayak aduh nanti jangan-jangan yang cowok yang kamu suka homo. Mika beneran kok udah, Mika udah pernah been there done that sister. Girl boss energy. Thank you poor Mika, but do you know every love story is beautiful but ours is my favorite love flower. Thank you. I don't think my love story was beautiful at all though. Like he came out imagine like I glitch. I cringe so much that I cringe. I cringe so much that I glitch actually. Thank you for the donation to Oja. You're so sweet. Smooch. Confession reading ngapain? Confession reading itu nanti Mika bakal buka formulir dan nanti kalian isi nanti ya dengan cerita kalian. Bisa serem, bisa lucu, bisa memalukan, terserah kalian. Nanti Mika bakal filter dan Mika bakal baca on stream. Nanti kita bakal review bareng-bareng gimana. Kita nge-ranking posisi kalian. Do you get Mika approved or do you not get Mika approved? Is this story Mika approved or not Mika approved? So I'll be opening a form where you guys can fill in with your stories, any stories like horror stories or funny stories or embarrassing ones, up to you. I'll be filtering them and I'll be reading them on stream and I'll be saying either this is a Mika approved or not Mika approved. Yeah. Tugas lo belum dikerjain. Hayo Rizky, hayo. Ngerank cringe. Boy, we are going to have a Malaticals be honest. I am honest. You are honest now. Hey. Tapi that was my funny. I was so sad at that time, but now it's funny. Now it's a funny story to tell people. Man, imagine heartbroken when Billie Eilish said, I wish you were gay. No, I don't. Ini namanya tisu basah. Mika lagi ambil tisu basah untuk ngalap my tears, kesedihanku galap. Here's another one last funny story, chat. Do you wanna know a funny story actually? Tragedi pas waktu sama dengan komedi. True. What is PTSD if it isn't spicy nostalgia? But yeah, Mika kejam. Me too. No. Biar harum. Kenapa pakai tisu basah? Karena tisu basah harum. Nah ini chat. Here's one last embarrassing story. Really embarrassing. This is 3 a.m. Can't sleep. Full stories. Yeah. True. The things you lay up and think about at night. Here's another funny story, chat. Wait, let me think. Which one is the funniest? Do you guys want something more cringy or more funny? Because honestly, there's no choice. I'm always cringy. Kalian mikir dulu. Oke, Mika tahu. Kalian pernah dengar kan? Both? Bentar, Mika mikir dulu. Ini konteksnya gimana ya? Kok Mika coba ingat akhirnya? Actually I have two stories. Mika ada 2. Yang pertama ini nggak tahu kalau ini lebih memalukan deh. Ini lebih memalukan. Jadi, it's not really memalukan actually. It's actually more like oh no. It's like oh no, you know. Ini cerita yang lebih kayak oh no gitu. Jadi gini deh. Mika tuh ada teman tapi nggak deket. Mika ada teman tapi nggak deket. I had a friend that's not that close but a friend. Dan biasa gitu kan. Mika kan pelupa. Nah, dia ngepost di story dia kayak dia ngepost di story dia tuh backgroundnya tuh backgroundnya tuh kayak pemandangan, terus ada tanggal gitu kan, bilang aja lah tanggal hari ini berapa, misalnya 16/08/2020, tapi nggak ada 2020-nya gitu, kayak cuman kayak 16/08 gitu loh ya kan. Nah jadi dia ngepost kayak gitu di story. Thank you Oja, I mean our story Mika, like how I love you. It was love at first sight, at last sight, at ever and ever sight. Oh, that's so sweet, thank you. Oh, but yeah, it is a cringe, not cringe. This one is more embarrassing and like sad actually. Ini lebih ke kayak aduh gitu kayak oh no. Ya jadi dia nulis tuh kayak 16/08 gitu di storynya Instagram background terus tanggal gitu ya, tanggal. Nah, Mika langsung panik. Mika kira itu ulang tahun dia, tapi Mika lupa. Ya kan, I was like, so basically he posted on his Instagram story like a date, like let's say like 16/08 with like a really nice like a scenery background. And I thought like, oh dang, it's his birthday, and I forgot. Jadi Mika langsung kayak siap-siap dong, kayak Mika beli kue, langsung ke rumahnya, kan langsung ngeong ke rumahnya gitu. Terus ketok pintu, Mika ketok pintu. Gitu. Terus pas dibuka, dia buka kan, happy birthday, kamu masa kira aku lupa gitu kan. Terus dia bilang, kok kamu kira hari ini ulang tahunku Mika? Terus aku bilang kan, lah story kamu apa? Terus ternyata dia bilang, itu tanggalnya orang tuaku berpisah. Why? No, I was like, oh no. So basically, I thought it was his birthday. So I drove up to his house with a cake and everything, you know, like happy birthday. I knock on his door, I was like, and then he came out and he was like, yes. And I was like, happy birthday. Did you think I forget? I never forget your birthday. And then he's like, why would you think today's my birthday? And I'm like, your Instagram story. And then he's just like, this is the day my parents got divorced. I was like, There's the thing. My friend, I don't know, but he was happy about the divorce. That's why he put it on the story. Like he was happier because apparently like one of his parents was very like, I don't know, mean, I guess. So he was happy about it. So he posted it. How was I supposed to know? Kayak dia tuh ternyata kan senang kan karena itu terjadi, karena dia lebih bahagia di situ. Tapi dia tuh bahagia dan dia taruh di story. Cara Mika tahu gimana gitu. He did laugh. Dia ketawa. He did laugh. And I was just like so basically my parents got divorced. Something like that. He wasn't sad about it all. Dia tuh nggak sedih tentang itu. That's why I was just like, oh no. I mean, you get a free cake, I guess. I mean, cuman kayak, ya udah nih ambil aja kuenya deh. Lupain lah. You just take it. Just take the cake. I don't want to see you ever again. He wasn't sad. He was happy about it. That made it worse. Aduh, udah sok-sok kayak, emang kamu kira Mika bakal lupa gitu kan? Ternyata udah ketahuan lupa, ketahuan stupid. That was so bad. I was dying. Mika tuh udah kayak mau meninggoy lagi tadi. Mau meninggoy. The sorry cake. Yeah, it was a sorry cake. Oh my god, that happened. Aduh. Tapi ini tuh pas Mika masih di SMP kalau nggak salah. This was when I was in middle school, so I was so like, I just want to be a good friend, you know. Mika cuma pengen jadi teman yang baik. Ternyata it got worse. I'm actually a really bad person. Man, I should just not try. Mika seharusnya nggak berusaha. Mika tuh udah coba, oke? Mika udah kayak nge-speed, you know. That was a story. Mika tuh sering ngemaluin diri sendiri. I'm always my own embarrassment. I have a lot of embarrassing stories. I just don't remember because they're all too embarrassing. E for effort. I'm sorry if that was dark, by the way. Maaf kalau itu terlalu gelap. Mika nggak bermaksud. But ya karena temen Mika tuh nggak apa-apa gitu. Dan dia sendiri yang sering ceritain. Like he's the one. Like every time we like have a reunion long time ago, he would tell that story. He's like, you know, one time Mika came up to my house. Like dia tuh yang sering ceritain gitu. Kayak kalau misalnya kita kayak dulu ketemuan bareng gitu ya sama teman-teman yang lain, dia sering kayak, tau nggak, Mika tuh pernah loh ke rumah aku terus gitu kan. Terus aku cuma kayak, shut up, I tried. Diam lah, kan Mika berusaha. That was so embarrassing. Here's a lighter one. Here's another light story. Tahu nggak, chat? Mika pernah sekali, Mika ke sekolah, tapi, I don't know how to say this. This sounds so bad, but I once came to school and gimana ya? Jadi tuh Mika tuh dulu ke sekolah tuh kayak ada ini kan, ada semacam bukan libur, not a holiday, but like Mika ke sekolah terus ada acara seremoni gitu kan. Nah, terus Mika tuh dipilih buat ke panggung buat kayak ngomong gitu. Karena percaya nggak, chat, Mika dulu tuh di OSIS loh. I used to be in the student council. Do you believe it? So, we had school and I was chosen to speak on the podium. To like address my juniors and stuff. Untuk kayak ngomong ke juniornya. Mika nggak nyadar kalau ternyata I was actually, Mika dulu tuh OSIS. Kayak gini-gini tuh Mika ada merasa tanggung jawaban loh. Cuman kadang ngantuk aja. Mika ke depan. Udah pas mulai, mic-nya kan mati. Ya kan? Nah jadi gini nih. Cara jelasin nih. Jadi mic-nya tuh mati. Jadi Mika tuh kayak gini. Kayak Mika kayak tes, tes 1, 2, 3 gitu kan. Like I was testing the mic because I was on the podium and the mic was dead. So I was like tapping on the mic like tes 1, 2, 3 like that. And there's nothing, gak ada suara gitu kan. Terus jadi kan kita ada semacam kayak ada guru yang kayak kasih tauin kayak bentar lagi dibenerin. Like there's a teacher that's saying like hold on, we're fixing it.
So I went like this.
Haha, poo poo, pee pee. Haha, haha, F word. Ahahaha, buttholes.
I did that.
Dan ternyata chat, kan di gini nih, speaker di auditoriumnya itu mati. Betul. The speakers in the auditorium is still muted. It's alright. No one heard me in the auditorium. Gak ada yang denger Mika di auditorium. Tetapi ada ruang guru yang ada orang tuanya. Speaker di situ masih nyala. So in the auditorium the speakers was off. No one heard me. But there's another room where the teachers and the students' parents are there. The speakers there were working just fine. So the students, murid-muridnya tuh cuman kayak nggak dengar apa-apa. Selesai, aku dipanggil sama guru. Mika, sini deh kamu sebentar. Aku diajak ke ruangan. Kamu lihat mic speaker ini? Iya pak. Ini tadi nyala loh. Oh gitu ya pak. Like afterwards, the teacher was like, Mika, come here. I came. He put me into this room. He's like, you see these speakers? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, these were on the whole time. I was like, is that so? Wik. How was I supposed to know? Mika tuh gak tahu ada speaker di sana. Orang tuanya. Aku lebih mending murid yang dengar aku gitu. Ini orang tuanya. Oh gitu ya pak. Oh gitu ya. Oh maaf ya pak. Aku kilaf. Tapi percaya gak chat, aku masih di OSIS. I was still at the student council after that. I was just not allowed to speak. Mika masih di OSIS tapi gak boleh ngomong lagi. Coba kalau orang tua Mika yang datang, itu kenapa orang tua Mika pas jemput tuh coba duduk terus kayak, sayang, tadi itu suara kamu ya? Terus aku coba kayak, bukan kok Mi, itu suaranya guru Mi. Bukan aku kok Mi. My parents were there. When they picked me up, they were like, sweetheart, was that your voice? And I was like, no, that was my teacher's voice. That wasn't me. What do you mean? That happened. I hate it here. Ayahnya Mika ketawa-ketawa aja. Ibunya Mika tuh yang kayak, aku udah susah-susah pengen kamu masuk OSIS, malahan kamu gitu. Kamu belajar kata-kata itu dari mana, huh? My dad was fine with it. My mom was like, where did you learn those words? Where did you learn to say those things? Ate beneran disiste. See, I am filled with the most embarrassing things ever. Man. Tapi jujur ya, Chat, I think at that time kenapa itu sekolah Mika tuh tipe ada banyak anak berandal di sekolah Mika. Jadi ada banyak cerita yang aneh. Misalnya, dulu Mika tuh sering main ya, kan main Truth or Dare sama teman-temannya gitu kan. Sama teman-teman Mika. Terus ada satu yang kayak, I dare you to poop in the canteen gitu. Jadi ada temanku tuh yang di dare buat di kantin. Beneran kok di kantin. Like my school, like they're filled with people that are like me, like their brain is -1. So once we play Truth or Dare, and one of my friends like, I dare you to poop in the canteen, and one of my friends actually did poop in the canteen. So itulah sekolahnya Mika. Jadi Mika cuma bilang pupu pipi itu nggak apa-apa. Okay, me saying pupu pipi is alright compared to someone just full on pooping in the canteen.
Hey, I'm eating. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, like at the canteen. Like near the chair canteen. Kayak di sebelah kursinya kantin. Yeah. From Indo? Yeah, from Indo. Yeah. See? My thing sounds normal compared to that. No wonder you're in that. What the Ocha? Ha! No wonder I was in the. Just so you know, I finished top 3 in my class. I ranked number 1 in my class. What was that? What was that copy paste? I forgot. Man. I'm kidding. I wasn't. I was actually kind of. I don't know. Top 3 of 3. Aduh. Dari belakang kata depan. The Navy SEAL copy pasta. Yeah, the Navy SEAL copy pasta. That's what I'm talking about. Man. Tapi that happened. Ugh. Pain, Mika. Why are you guys sussing me? If I told you that I was smart, would you believe it? Kalau Mika kasihin kalian, Mika tuh pintar. Kalian percaya nggak, huh? Genius on the sheet, monkey on the street. I'm pinning that. You get the pin of the stream. What do you mean? I am actually smart. Okay. Kepala Mika itu ada sesuatunya. I'm actually kind of smart. Kenapa kakak cantik banget? Karena Mika pintar. So which is heavier? I know that. It's the same. See? Bobon pulled the same thing on me, Zen. You can't pull it twice. Huh? I learned from my mistakes. 2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths. I'm actually smart, chat. I am so smart. I'll have you know that I'm kinda smart. Kinda. Oh man. But yeah, those are all the stories I remember right now. Nanti itu semua cerita kalau Bobon plus Mi. Orosai. Mina, orosai. Orosama. What is that? What is that? Dibagi tapi ada centangnya -1. I don't know. 0. Mika wangy, Yona 2 times a day. How much punch does Mika receive? Oh, a lot. I know that for facts. Tapi gini chat, kan Mika sudah meninggoy, nggak perlu pintar-pintar lagi ya. Tapi okay. Mika smart, thank you. See? Thank you for the super chat. See, Mika smart. Mika, can you play chess? Yes, I can actually. Do you believe that? Dibagi akar -1 sama dengan 0. Sama dengan 1. Nggak tahu deh. What do you call a chicken with a lettuce in its eyes? A cock veg. I don't know. What do you call it? What? A chicken with a lettuce in its eyes. Chicken Caesar salad.
chicken Caesar salad.
No, no, I'm done. I'm done. How do I? How? Where is the timeout button? Where is the timeout button? Then I love you, but I absolutely hate you. Just I really You know what? At least it wasn't a D's nuts joke. At least it wasn't a D's nuts joke. I thought it was gonna be a D's nuts joke. Man. But yeah. No, I'm not rating anymore. I know y'all gonna do these nuts jokes. I'm not gonna. Huh? Berapa hasil pelatoran dari bilangan berikut ini? 19x pangkat 2 minus 19y pangkat 2. What is hasil pemfaktoran? Hah? I don't know. 4x minus 3y. What the heck is pemfaktoran? Okay, you know what? I'm not that smart. But I can play chess, chat. Mika bisa main chess loh. I might not be smart. That's it. That's a sentence. That's a sentence. Jawabannya D. A plus B. A min B. Kok ada A? Kok ada X? Ada capek ya, Mas? Bodoh. Yeah, prove it. Who do you want me to play chess with, huh? Kalian mau Mika chess sama siapa? Mika bisa chess loh. Bisa loh. Bisa kalah. Nggak lah, bisa. Siapa yang nggak bisa? Jangan sama siapa. With who? Bisan? Mika versus Zen. Ooh, that's easy. I win easy. Easy. Sama Bobon? I'll ask. Can Bobon even play chess? Bobon is not smart. Sure. Nanti coba Mika tanya Bobon dulu ya. 4D chess versus Kang Rick Samik kayak Bisan. 4D chess? Chess on top of chess. Maybe. Nanti coba Mika nanya dia. Dia masih tidur. Kayaknya. Pataka! No, I still need to have my image. Hello. Image Mika tolong dijaga. Bisan mungkin nggak jago catur, at least dia nggak say pipi pupu di mic sekolah. Yeah, that means he's not as confident compared to me. Is that a flex? I don't think so. Tapi okay, chat. Udah, cakap. Kalian bakal bikin Mika ketawa. I miss you all so much. Mika kangen sekali dengan kalian. Ini seru. Mika kangen ngobrol. Udah lah, main Apex. Pengen ngobrol sama kalian aja. I wanna just talk with you guys more. Maybe. I'll ask. Coba nanti Mika nanya.
collab Phasma sama Wave 6? Mau, tapi Sia masih takut. Jadi nggak bisa. Sama Tesiska biasanya kan kalau jaga malam Tesiska suka main catur. Oh, maybe I'll ask. Free talk Sabaton, free talk chess match. Tapi ya, thank you so much for coming to the stream today. I'll be ending it now karena udah mau malam juga ya. Dan nanti bentar lagi ada stream siapa ya? Lupa. Sia kalau nggak salah. Siapa gitu? Stream siapa gitu nanti. Tapi I'll be ending it here for now. Tapi gini, nanti kan Mika bakal ada formulir. Nah, nanti kalian isi ya. Hihi. I'm gonna have a form, so you guys fill it up, okay? Tell me more about yourself. Nanti kasih tauin Mika tentang kalian ya. Story time over for now, chat. Nanti kita balik lagi tanggal 19. Kalau kalian lihat,
Now let me tell you something, chat. Let me tell you something.
nanti tanggal 19 Agustus, Mika akan baca konfesi kalian. Ada reading your confessions jam 9 malam dengan nggak siapa-siapa kok, siapa? Nggak ada. Thank you, Oja. Lastly, when I tell you I love you, I'm not saying it out of habit. I'm reminding you that you are my life so far. Oh, thank you, Oja. Tapi ya, later on the 19th, I'm gonna have reading your confessions. So make sure to fill up your confessions. So I can read them. At 9 p.m. GMT 7, 11 p.m. JST, and 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Jadi nanti tanggal 19 Agustus, jam 9 malam WIB, jam 11 malam JST, dan jam 7 pagi Pacific Daylight Time. Dan iya, Mika, akhirnya karena kalian tuh, Mika kapan collab dengan Bobon officially? Ya udah, Mika bakal read your confessions dengan Bobon. Wait. But yeah, Mika bakal baca dengan Boboni Pierre peran Janja. So do come and fill your confession, make it interesting. Yes, make it interesting so that I can flex how awesome you guys are. Anyways, thank you for coming so much to the stream. Terima kasih sudah datang ke stream hari ini. Atsukunti everyone. Jangan lupa untuk makan dan jaga kesehatan ya. Don't forget to eat and take care of your health. Bye bye. Atsukunti. Anyways, ciao.